Hey Gemini, it's Angela. Here we are. We're going to do your soul guidance reading for November 2022. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And really, if you've come through here and thought, oh, this video looks interesting, you've been guided here too. So your intuition led you here. Mostly when I'm shuffling off camera, I bring in the energy of Gemini and we get some guidance from that. These readings are inner being related. They're not really external world related. This is shifts you can make within you to create new outcomes. First, I have a few housekeeping things. I wanted to let you guys know that I created a new playlist on my channel. It's called Weekly Intention Readings, Pause at the Well. It's a long title. But these are recordings of intention sessions that I participate in every Monday morning with a group led by Mellano of Integral Bloom. It's a free session too. If you want to, I'm going to put the links in this video if you want to go through to her website and sign up for her email, and she'll send a link every Monday morning to send you through to the Zoom to pause at the well. And we set intentions, we work on clarity in some areas, and then we record these videos after. So those videos are in this new playlist, and you can visit those if you'd like. They're pretty much evergreen. They're sometimes a little deeper than they're pretty good. And you can follow along with us if you'd like to see those. And then also with Maria, we co-created a course called Bloom Your Vision, which is a vision board course. It launches in January and it goes for 7 sessions, and it ends, I think, one weekend in February, where we will take the leading 6 weeks is soul work. We have a journal that goes with this course, and it's pretty much self-paced. So you don't have to join every live session, but it is actually more fulfilling if you're there. And I'll be there doing readings live for the collective. And there's a whole workbook. You work through it, get your intentions clear. And then at the final session, we gather and create a vision board together. You can use materials, hands-on materials, or we also use Canva, which is online, put pasting collages together. So that's exciting. We're doing that. The info's in the link of this video. In the notes of this video. And the last thing is, please go to my website if you feel compelled to sign up for my newsletter on groundeddreamers.com. That link's going to be here too, because we're working on some things behind the scenes, and I'm going to build out the website in a few months. And we have another virtual psychic fair coming up, and I'm going to be running those more often next year. So if you get on that email list, you'll be kind of the first to know. I don't send a lot of emails, so don't worry about getting spammed. It's not really my style at the moment, because, when we start building and growing, there might be choices to select which emails you want to see. But right now, I just don't send very many. So there's no worry there. Okay, let's get to your reading. All right, Gemini. The oracle card the deck we're using this time is Messages from the Mermaids. And I don't know how the focus is on this camera. I hope it's good enough. The card I pulled for you, Gemini, is Contentment. Do you feel content? Are you striving to feel content? Are you in discontent? Or, this is not a permanent state of being, obviously. This is, a vibration that we move in and out of through our lives, because life keeps happening, right? And we move to spaces where it's going well, and we're in an acceptance of where everything is. And then something shakes it up and we're discontent. And that does, we move in and out of it. It's not a permanent state of being, right? But, we talk about, people talk about how happiness is their goal. I need to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. To me, first of all, I heard a quote from an author, Robert Holden, his name, Dr. Robert Holden. And he says, basically in a nutshell, because I'm not going to quote them verbatim, but stop seeking happiness. Instead, follow your joy. So the seeking happiness feels like work. It feels like something outside of you that you have to chase down, right? But if you're starting from an aligned inner being and you nudge towards something that brings you joy, you're following your joy that way. That keeps you in a mostly, smoother state of joy. And then another level to that for me is we're not always going to be fully happy and fully joyful, right? It's not always this real up vibration, but contentment, I feel we can be content more often than not if we really do that inner being work and shift our perspective toward the way we perceive our life and the way we perceive things that come at us and happen to us. Contentment seems to me to be more achievable, and then it leads to joy and it leads to your full happiness. So that's kind of my little take on it. Let's get down to the Zen spread now. This is your spread. It's a tree. We have the trunk to the top and two sets of branches. Inner energies, internal energies are on the left and external are on the right, how they manifest in your life. We're going to start here in the center point as it pertains to contentment for you, Gemini. And I got stress. So some of you are not feeling content right now, and that's okay. And some of you are, and this would be sort of a guide for when some stress starts to increase in your life. Because, we all encounter certain levels of stress, and how we respond to it and how we work to, find contentment in all our situations makes a difference. It actually determines how long you stay in this state. This guy, look at him. He's doing everything. He's got, blowing the horns and juggling I guess those are candles or light balls or something. He's got 3 legs, 3 arms, he's just doing it all. And then what's waiting down here for him to take it all tumbling down if, he's trying to keep it all in the air. So sometimes we feel this way. Sometimes this is our life. And that state of contentment sounds nearer to this than full-on happiness, right? So start with that. Okay, let me find a way to be accepting of what's going on. Let me work through some of these conflicts and move past them so that I can return to a more content state of being. Internally, this card is in response to this stress, and this is what's going on under the supporting energy within you is no thingness. So this is your practice of detachment. This is within you. So when we're stressed out, can't quite get everything done, I can't achieve the goal, I can't, whatever, I can't see eye to eye with someone, whatever that stress is for you, return and, within you, remind yourself, if I set my sights on only one outcome, the chances of me being disappointed and discontent are higher, right? If I remind myself that the universe is working in concert with my energy to move me forward and move me past this and find a solution, I can find contentment much sooner. If I just remember, there are many ways to get through and get past this. There are many ways to get to my goal. I don't have to execute one specific set of ideas and processes in order to get there. I can have an idea that I want to relieve this stress, and I kind of have an idea how, and then let the universe help me see how, so that I'm not deciding that in my mind and then sticking to it and then kind of really staying in this loop of stress and I'm not getting there, stress, I'm not getting there, right? Okay, so now we have the combination of these two energies, which is we encounter stress or we're experiencing stress, and then we remind ourselves within, okay, let's just take a breather. Let's breathe this out. Let's see what comes, right? And then in your external world, you are led by your inner guidance. I love it. Now you're moving forward. You move from this jumbled mess to ease and flow. If you can just see, even in the illustrations, you know, there's tension and then there's flow, light and flow and ease. And so this is the result for you, moving from the stress, remembering, okay, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna trust myself. I'm gonna trust my inner guide, and it will flow. And then you return to contentment. I'm there again, right? Love that. I love that. So now we're going to move down to this next card, which is the key to moving forward. So in just like a tree, right, where the roots are and how deep they are and how healthy they are determines the outer, you know, the growth above the surface. And so this is your key to getting your growth and getting your elevated perspective as it pertains to how much contentment is in your life. And the key is releasing your cling to the past. Yeah, that's now this isn't necessarily only you know, a specific past situation or person. This could be your past responses. Like when I had stress in the past, I responded in a certain way. Did it lead me to more contentment or not? Right? If not, then it's time to shift that and release that old way of responding to your stress, right? You know, you can get creative. You can find you know, little reminders. Like if the stress is up really high, set some, you know, intermittent alarms and in your devices and remind yourself, you know, take a breathe break, you know, every 3 hours or so through your day. If it's a high stressful day, set an alarm and then just check out for 3 minutes and you know, return to the breath, right? Return to the contentment. Everything is okay in this moment, right? Get into the present moment and then go about your day. You could get creative with how you can shift the old ways that you used to address your stress. So I like that. I like that idea of releasing the past ways so that you can be fully immersed in what's here now. Okay, then we move forward from this clinging to the past, from, you know, however you decide to make that shift and find a new way to address stresses in your life. Now we land on totality. Now you're in it. Now your full self, you know, especially if this process here, the stress and the release of the expectations and following your guide and releasing the past ways, if that whole process resulted in some contentment, like, oh, okay, I reached contentment again. Now it's time to really fully be in it and not let up, right? These three acrobats, they're, you know, doing their thing and totally in the zone. I mean, they have to be. If one of them thinks about, you know, what her boyfriend told her last night, they're all going to go tumbling down and it's going to be disastrous for everyone. So this is your promise to yourself that once you can work through some of your stresses and you return to a state of contentment, this is kind of your promise that, okay, I'm going to milk that for a while, right? I know I won't stay there forever, but I am going to milk that contentment. I'm going to be in it. I'm going to write about it. I'm going to sing about it. I'm going to tell myself everything's working out. I feel really happy. I feel really at ease, you know, really just feel it through so that you can remember the power of that experience for the next time you return to a stressful situation, which is bound to come, right? It's part of life. Okay, now the internal card that goes with this totality is the friendliness card. So I love that. So now you're fully in your contentment, you're milking it for all it is. And inside, like deep inside of you, you have that feeling like, I'm good. I'm at one with my life. I'm at one with the universe. I'm deeply rooted in who I am, and nothing's really going to sway me over. I can stay, you know, parallel with my contentment and feel it through, right? Because we asked you to here, the guidance asks that we really get into that contented feeling, and now you can root in that for a little while. And that, I love that. And remember, we're not going to always stay there forever, but we can find, ways to get ourselves back to it again at when, remember that shift in that change in the way you've always done it is the key. Make a shift. And then your final card and sort of the overview into this is the sharing card. And this is beautiful. This is now that you've reached your contentment and you've milked it for all it is, and you've allowed yourself to really feel it thoroughly and be appreciative that you got there, right? Now you get to just shine, and others get to feel your contentment along with you. And you can maybe even share your processes, and maybe people will start noticing, hey, you're in the pocket there, you're feeling good in your life, and how do you do it, what's your trick? And then you can take out this spread and say, this is how I did it. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pull one bonus card for you, kind of a cap off to this whole reading. And whoops, one flew out. So I guess that's the one I'm going to use. It's coming from this deck, the Sacred Creators. And this is a beautiful message from the universe for you, Gemini. As it pertains to your contentment, I suppose, I think it really does. It is, you are light. Lovely. That's this vibration of the sharing card, like shine. Just let your happiness and your joy that was rooted in your initial contentment, let that just flow out and kind of be a beacon for others. Let others see that yeah, I have a lot of stress too, and this is how I manage it, and this is how I deal with it, right? I stop expecting too much from myself, and then I proceed with what feels best. And I'm doing it in a new way, and watch me go. Watch me shine, right? I love that. Okay. All right, Gemini, that will do it for now. I'm so glad you guys are here and watching my readings, and look in the notes below for all these links that I talked about, and visit us there, and let's keep growing our souls together. All right. Take care. I love you guys.